Hey everybody, welcome to Trading the Close. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at VerifiedInvesting.com. Lots to go over. So the markets themselves, the S&P, a float day, but huge reversals in SMCI and on Palantir that are getting my attention because, again, those are kind of the names that are the major players for momentum, and they are crashing back down. Now listen, SMCI still positive on the day, but way off the highs, but Palantir collapsed in the second half, actually the last hour of the day, over 10% on some news. So let's get into the bigger things here. First, we're going to look at the markets overall, then we'll get into the charts. S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, etc., all green, but just slightly green. Now remember, the S&P confirmed a breakout yesterday, so in general, that moves the bias to neutral to upside in the short term as long as it doesn't confirm back below that December high. All right, so again, 49 points, 32 on the NASDAQ and 17 on the S&P, about a quarter to a 0.1% across the board. Oil inching up a little bit, gold flat on the day. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a bounce after the weakness we saw in yesterday. But overall, this is all nonsense as far as I'm concerned because the real action, again, is in some of these other names. Now, this is the S&P chart here. So we have our two lines here. This was our high from December. So again, we know that here, and here's where you confirmed yesterday. And sure enough, today, what are we seeing? We're seeing a float to the upside. Now, again, that float, you have, at least based on probability, it's expected to continue unless we confirm back below that line. But now again, this is a firm support area. So that is support until proven otherwise, meaning that the market is sitting on top of support. It favors that move to the upside. But now, folks, we got to get right into some of these action-packed moves here. If we take a look at Palantir, look at this move on Palantir, folks. Holy cow, a massive drop. Look at that drop on Palantir. The news that I'm hearing, folks, and listen, it's hard when you're trading this stuff live. It's hard to see exactly what's going on, but I heard an insider sold over $1 billion. I think it was the CEO, and then also some news from Trump talking about how government is going to cut a lot of expenses, including some of the contracts with Palantir. So it's getting a bounce into the end of the day, but it is down massively. If we look back at this chart, look at this drop here, folks. Incredible, incredible drop here. And again, look at it come down. Go back to the charts. There we go. So again, down here we go. And again, getting a little end of day bounce, but incredible, incredible action. SMCI, here you guys go. Look at this level. Low pivot. Gap fill. What did we kiss at the highs before this reversal? This began to fall. Look at this fall. Very similar to what we're seeing on Palantir because, again, this is a momentum name. And momentum stocks, even if the news isn't directed at them, it is the same mentality, the same psychology with investors. It's getting a little bit of a bounce here, but amazing how it came very, very close to that gap fill, but not quite. I think everyone was expecting it to hit that gap fill, so it came shy of it and then pulled back. You now have a potential top here on SMCI. HIMS, this is not really one that's going to be affected by these contracts, but I wanted to show you this one. This one, a big move today. They, I think they're opening a diagnostics, like, diagnostic for blood and stuff like that. But essentially, this stock has gone on a parabolic run. Look at this on the shorter term, the move on HIMS. A massive move that we've seen it go on a percentage basis from January 10th to the highs today, a 200% move. But more importantly for me, look at the parallel. Going back to the high in 2021, these lows here, could this be the top on Palantir? I don't know, but certainly as long as we have hit that level and pulled back, I'm going to go with that until it proves that it can break above that level. So again, guys, just some incredible action here. Now listen, according to the S&P, we're just in float mode, right? So we're waiting for more catalysts for the overall market. But when I start to see reversals on the big high flyers like Palantir, SMCI, as a trader and a short-term swing trader, I start to take technical, kind of note of that. And the reason is because, again, momentum comes in like the waves and comes out like the waves, right? So the tide comes in, the tide comes out, and you want to pay attention because if momentum switches here, it could take the breath or the power out of the market. So let's watch that and continue to follow that very, very closely. All right, let's go on to Bitcoin here, and we do have a few earnings like Carvana after the bell. We'll go over that chart in just a second. It doesn't come out till 4:10, but we'll take a look. So Bitcoin today, no movement here. I'm not even going to go to the big board for this because it's not even worth it. Bitcoin, again, no movement whatsoever. Gold today, flat on the day, still has not negated and closed above the doji high. But the fact that it's hovering here, there is still that chance for a pop into 3,000. Silver today, a little bit of a down day here. Still mixed picture. No guidance from me in terms of a bias. And then if we look at oil, same kind of thing. Oil just not giving us any sort of great setup. So what do? I sit on my hands. I do nothing until the great setup turns up in the charts. Now, if we look at this is a different story here. Look at this move again today, a 7.5% move on natural gas. It has now broken above and closed above this parallel. Now, it hasn't confirmed, and it's also into this next trend line from here to this high, and you're getting close to that next target at gap fill. There's a big gap fill right here at around 440, but this is a tremendous move in natural gas, whether again it's just a squeeze going on, or whether it's the cold weather that's going to be hitting the U.S. in the next week or so, or maybe the last gasp before the summer months and starts to warm up and natural gas comes in. We'll have to find out. But again, I did add to my short on natural gas one more time today. I'll add one more time to accumulate my full position, which would be about 8% of my swing trade commodity portfolio, not my overall portfolio, just my one that I set aside for commodities. And again, that would be it for me because natural gas is too volatile to really go any heavier, at least in my humble opinion. All right. Now, quickly, I want to just show you the Carvana chart. Carvana, again, setting up here. We do have a trend line that it's trading right into here, this high pivot right through here. But I do want to show you there is a risk that it could go a little bit higher. To do that, we grab our parallel channel. We drag our parallel channel right up here. And what we can do is we can bring it up to these highs. So if Carvana pops after hours here, I think at 410 they're coming out. If it pops up here, your resistance is going to be between 300 and 305. Again, could it pierce? Sure, it could pierce. All right, but ultimately that's going to be your resistance. If it dips, you'll have some support coming in around 260. And if it gets below that, you could start heading back down to this lower end of the parallel. But again, I guess my point here is risk reward. There's a little bit of risk to the upside of it going up here, but it's only about a 7% move, maybe 6% move. To the downside, there's a lot more room to go. I think their earnings are going to be tremendous, but a question is the stock already reflecting those gains? I think the stock is up. It's up from 170 bucks at the beginning of the year to 285 now. So again, you're talking about basically a 50% run in the stock just since the beginning of the year. They better come out with gangbuster numbers to justify and push the stock higher. We're going to see in just a couple minutes. I'm going to be trading it with the earnings trader guides, which is part of smart money stocks and ETFs now. All right, guys, what I want to do now is bring in Lawton, who's going to talk to you guys about BloFin. Everyone always asks me, how do you short crypto? Do you do this? Well, this is the company that allows you to do it by trading derivatives, and therefore you don't have to worry about KYC in the U.S. I'm going to kick it over to Lawton.
Hey guys, Lawton here with Verified Investing. Again, guys, everyone asks us who are we using for our crypto exchange, and after a bunch of different research, making sure to find a safe and reputable company, we've partnered with BloFin. If you want to learn more about BloFin, the official crypto exchange of Verified Investing, you can go to our homepage, scroll all the way to the bottom, and click on BloFin right there under our sponsors. With that being said, I'm going to kick it off to myself. Hey guys, Lawton with Verified Investing here. We're back with another video. Last video, I told you I was going to show you how to trade, so let's get right into it. Let's say you want to trade Pepe USDT, right? So in this case, let's say I'm looking at the chart action, and I think that this sideways consolidation means Pepe should go up. Well, I can put amount of Pepe I want, or the amount of US dollars I'd like to put into this. In this case, let's say I'm going to put $150, but since I'm can use 10 times leverage, it's going to cost me, you see here, only $15. So let's buy it by market price, and it looks like I'm in. Another thing I could do is drag this and put in a stop loss. I can also add a take profit up here. So now my levels are in. I have a stop loss, a take profit, and my order's been filled. So it's just that easy to trade with BloFin. All right, Tune in next time where I show you about copy trading and some of the other cool things that BloFin has to offer.